Okay, so get this. We're diving deep today into this article.
Oh, yeah.
Called Education Revolution, the Baha'i Model That Could Save Humanity.
Wow.
I know, right? That title makes you think, like, could one model of education really solve so many of the world's problems?
Yeah, that's a big claim.
I know. That's why we're going to find out.
For sure.
But before we go full optimist here,
Yeah.
let's set the stage a little bit. For
Okay.
anyone listening who might not be familiar with it, what exactly AOI is the Baha'i Faith?
Right.
And how does it view education differently?
Well, the Baha'i Faith is a world religion.
Okay.
And its central belief is this really beautiful concept, the oneness of humanity.
Okay.
They believe that all religions come from the same source and that we're all interconnected, like
Yeah.
one big, messy, but ultimately united family.
I like that.
And this idea of unity, it's woven into their approach to education.
Okay.
It's not just about, personal success.
Right.
It's about fostering global citizenship and using knowledge to make the world a better place.
Oh, I see. So it's less about me getting ahead and more about us all moving forward together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the article quotes Baha'u'llah,
Okay.
who is the founder of the Baha'i Faith.
Mhm.
He said, "Regard man as a mine rich in gems of inestimable value. Education can, alone, cause it to reveal its treasures."
Whoa.
What an image, right?
That's such a powerful image. Like
Yeah.
everyone has this hidden potential
Yeah.
just waiting to be unlocked.
Like a treasure chest.
Yes. And education is the key.
Precisely.
That's amazing.
Think about what that means for you.
Yeah.
We all have these incredible talents and abilities inside.
Yeah.
And education helps us discover and develop them so we can become the best versions of ourselves.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously universal access to education is really important in this model.
Mm-hmm.
And the article highlights equality in education.
Yes.
Particularly for women.
Yeah.
Why is that such a big deal?
Well, the Baha'i teachings are very clear. Men and women are equal. And that has a huge impact on how they view education.
Okay.
In fact, they believe that educating women is even more vital than educating men.
Oh, wow. More important.
Yeah,
That's a bold statement.
it is.
Why do they say that?
Abdul Baha, who is the son of Baha'u'llah, explained it this way. The education of women is of greater importance than the education of men. For women are the mothers and, as such, are the first educators of the next generation.
Oh, wow.
It's all about recognizing the ripple effect.
Okay.
When you educate a woman, you're educating future generations.
Yeah.
And you're building a more just and unified society right from the ground up.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It's not just about individual rights.
Right.
It's about, like, investing in the future.
Absolutely.
I'm also curious about this.
Yeah.
The article mentions this harmony of science and religion in the Baha'i model.
Right?
And that's something I'm always interested in, because don't those two usually clash?
Yeah, you hear about them being at odds all the time.
Right. Exactly.
That's a really common misconception.
Yeah.
Especially in cultures where science and religion are seen as totally separate things.
Yeah.
The Baha'i perspective is that science and religion actually complement each other.
Well.
They're like two wings that allow humanity to soar.
I like that.
Science helps us understand the physical world, right? And religion gives us moral and spiritual guidance. It's not about choosing one over the other.
Right.
It's about recognizing that they both offer these really valuable insights into what it means to be human.
So it's like they're weaving together different ways of knowing to create a more holistic understanding of the world.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they believe this harmony should be reflected in education too.
Oh, okay.
So encouraging students to explore both scientific knowledge and these spiritual principles and seeing them as these like interconnected pieces of a bigger puzzle.
So we've got this idea of unity at the heart of the Baha'i approach.
Yes.
Unity of humanity, unity of men and women, and even unity of science and religion.
Right.
It's like they're trying to build this whole approach to education that nurtures every single aspect of a person.
Exact.
Their intellect, their character, their spirit.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that leads us to another really important principle.
Okay.
The importance of moral and spiritual education.
Oh.
It's not just an add-on.
Right.
It's woven into the very fabric of their approach to education.
You know, it's eyes refreshing to see that highlighted in the article.
Yeah.
Because it seems like in a lot of education systems today, moral development gets kind of pushed to the side.
It does. Yeah.
It's all about grades and achievement.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But in the Baha'i view, knowledge without an ethical foundation can actually be dangerous.
That's a good point.
Yeah, they believe education should cultivate virtues like honesty, kindness, trustworthiness, compassion.
Yeah.
It's about raising individuals who are not only intelligent but also ethical, people who care about the well-being of others and want to contribute to a better world.
So it's not enough to just be smart.
Yeah.
You need a moral compass to guide your actions.
Exactly.
And use your knowledge responsibly.
Precisely.
Now, to really understand how this works in practice, we should look at how these principles are actually put into action.
Yes.
Did you know that there are Baha'i-inspired programs all over the world
Oh, yeah.
that are putting these ideas into practice?
For sure.
Yeah. The article did mention some real-world applications.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear more about that.
Well, one great example is Fundi AEC, which operates in Colombia.
Fun AEC. What does that stand for?
It stands for the Foundation for the Application and Teaching of the Sciences.
Oh, wow.
It's a fantastic example of how the Baha'i Faith takes its educational principles and turns them into real-world action.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more. What do they do?
They work mainly with rural populations, providing them with the knowledge and skills they need to improve their own communities. They offer training in things like sustainable agriculture, health, and sanitation, even business development.
So it's all about empowering people to create change at a grassroots level.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's all about applying knowledge to solve real-world problems and build thriving communities.
It sounds like they're really living that Baha'i ideal of service, putting their beliefs into action.
Absolutely.
I love that.
And they're not the only ones doing this kind of work.
Okay.
Another great example is the Junior Youth Spiritual Empowerment Program, which is a global initiative that works with young people between the ages of 12 and 15.
What kind of things do they focus on in that program?
It's a curriculum that blends moral education with social action.
Okay.
They help young people develop their spiritual qualities, but also encourage them to take part in service projects that benefit their communities.
Oh, wow. So they're learning about values like kindness and honesty and justice.
Yeah.
And then actually putting those values into action by helping others.
You got it.
That's amazing.
It's a powerful way to nurture their character and also their sense of responsibility towards their community and the world.
Wow. I'm really starting to see how all these pieces fit together.
Yeah.
It's such a different way of thinking about education.
It is.
It's not just about individual achievement.
Right.
It's about creating a better future for literally everyone.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, really?
There's so much more to explore, especially when we start looking at the Baha'i vision of global citizenship.
Okay, you've definitely got my attention.
Yeah.
Let's dive into that next.
Let's do it.
So global citizenship, huh?
Yeah.
That's a pretty big concept.
It is.
What does that actually mean, like in the context of the Baha'i Faith?
Well, the Baha'i teachings put it this way. The earth is one country, and humankind its citizens.
Whoa.
It's a fundamental belief that really shapes their whole approach to education.
So it's about expanding our sense of belonging beyond just our neighborhoods and our nations to embrace the whole planet.
Exactly. They want us to see ourselves as these interconnected members of a global family, all sharing a common destiny.
And this perspective, that's got to be super important for tackling the big challenges that we're facing today, right?
Absolutely.
Because a lot of them, climate change, poverty, conflict, these are global issues.
They are.
Yeah.
They don't stop at borders.
Right, exactly.
That's why this global perspective is so essential.
It's like that old saying, think globally, act locally, but maybe with like a twist.
Yeah.
More like think globally, ACT globally.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's about recognizing that our actions have ripple effects that extend far beyond our immediate surroundings.
Right.
And that we all share the responsibility to care for this planet and work together to create a world that's more just and sustainable for everyone.
That makes a lot of sense. But how do you actually cultivate that sense of global citizenship in young people?
Right.
It's one thing to talk about it, but how do you actually make it real for them?
Well, the Baha'i model offers some really interesting insights on that.
Okay.
For example, they believe that education should expose students to a wide range of perspectives and cultures.
Okay.
It's about helping them understand the interconnectedness of humanity and appreciate the richness and beauty of our differences.
So it's not just about like learning facts and figures,
No.
but also about developing empathy and understanding for people from all walks of life.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's about breaking down barriers and building bridges of understanding.
Yeah.
And it's about equipping young people with the skills they need to navigate an increasingly interconnected world.
You're so right, because if we want to solve these global problems, we need people who can think critically,
Yes.
communicate effectively across cultures,
Exactly.
and work together towards common goals.
That's it.
And those are all skills that can be nurtured through a really well-rounded education that emphasizes global citizenship.
Precisely.
So we've talked about universal education, gender equality, the harmony of science and religion, moral and spiritual development service to humanity,
Yeah.
and now global citizenship.
It's a lot.
It feels like the Baha'i model really does cover all the bases.
It's a comprehensive approach, that's for sure.
It really is.
And what's really inspiring is that it's not just a theory.
Right.
It's being put into practice around the world.
Yeah, we were just talking about Fund AEC in Colombia
Yeah.
and the Junior Youth Spiritual Empowerment Program. Are there other examples of Baha'i-inspired education initiatives out there?
Oh, tons.
Really?
Yeah, you can find Baha'i-inspired schools and educational programs all over the world.
Wow.
Some are specifically for Baha'i children,
Okay.
but others are open to students from all backgrounds.
Gotcha.
But what they all share is this commitment to fostering the principles we've been talking about.
That's incredible. It sounds like a real movement.
It is.
It's building.
It's gaining momentum all the time. More and more people are recognizing the need for an education that goes beyond just academics.
Right.
One that prepares young people to be responsible, ethical, globally minded citizens.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities, but let's be realistic here for a second. Implementing these changes on a large scale,
Yeah.
that's no easy task.
It's a huge undertaking.
I know education systems can be so complex
They are.
and resistant to change.
Yeah, that's true. There are definitely challenges. But the Baha'i community is committed to working within these systems
Okay.
to promote positive change.
Yeah.
They believe that even small steps can have a big impact over time.
I really appreciate that approach.
Yeah.
It's not about tearing everything down and starting from scratch.
Right.
It's about finding practical ways to integrate these values and principles into the systems we already have.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about collaboration, working with educators, policymakers, and communities to create an education system that's more just and effective for everyone.
This whole deep dive has been so thought-provoking.
Yeah.
It's making me realize just how much potential there is for education to transform not just individuals, but society as a whole.
That's the beauty of exploring new ideas. It expands our horizons and opens up all these new possibilities.
I'm especially struck by the Baha'i emphasis on unity and interconnectedness.
Yeah,
It feels so relevant right now,
it does.
especially in a world that often feels so divided and polarized.
I agree. The Baha'i teachings offer a really powerful antidote to those forces of division and conflict that we're seeing everywhere.
Yeah.
They remind us that we're all part of one human family.
Right.
And that our destinies are interconnected.
It's definitely a challenge to think beyond our own self-interests
It is.
and actually work together for the common good.
It's not easy.
But how do we take all this inspiration and actually turn it into concrete action?
Right?
How can we apply these Baha'i principles to our own lives and communities?
That's the big question.
It is.
It's something we each need to ponder individually.
Yeah.
But here's something to think about.
Right.
Imagine if we were to take just one of these Baha'i principles.
Yeah.
Universal education, gender equality, the harmony of science and religion, moral development service to humanity, global citizenship,
Yeah?
and truly commit to applying it in our own lives and communities. What kind of changes could we create?
Whoa, that's a powerful question.
It is a challenge
Dude.
to take all this incredible knowledge and actually do something with it.
Yeah. It's one thing to talk about it,
Right?
but another thing to actually put it into practice.
It's not enough to just talk about these ideas. We have to put them into action.
Right.
And the great thing is,
Yeah.
we can start right where we are
Okay.
with the resources that we have.
So what would that look like in practice?
Okay.
Let's say I'm really inspired by the Baha'i emphasis on service to humanity.
Okay.
What are some concrete things I could do to make a difference?
Well, think about your talents and skills.
Okay.
What are you good at? What are you passionate about?
Yeah.
And how could you use those gifts to serve others?
Okay, that's a good starting point.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm a graphic designer.
Okay.
Maybe I could volunteer my time to create marketing materials for a local nonprofit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you could design educational posters for a school in an underprivileged community.
Or I could even use my design skills to raise awareness about important social issues through social media.
There you go.
The possibilities really are endless.
They are. It doesn't have to be this grand gesture.
Right.
Even small acts of service can make a difference.
Yeah.
It's about finding ways to use your talents and resources to contribute to the well-being of your community and the world around you.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it actually makes me think about another Baha'i principle that we discussed.
Okay.
Global citizenship.
Right.
Maybe I could use my design skills to connect with people from other cultures and help bridge those divides that so often separate us.
Now you're thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
You could collaborate with designers from other countries on a project that promotes peace and understanding.
Oh, wow.
Or you could use your designs to highlight the beauty and richness of different cultures.
This is so inspiring. It's like a whole new world of possibilities is opening up.
I know, it's exciting.
And it all stems from this deep dive into the Baha'i model of education.
That's the power of exploring these ideas.
It really is.
And that's just one example.
Right.
Imagine how we could apply the other Baha'i principles.
Yeah.
Universal education, gender equality, the harmony of science and religion, moral development to our own lives and communities. The potential for positive change is enormous.
This conversation has been such an eye-opener.
Good. I'm glad.
It's not just about changing education system.
No.
It's about changing ourselves.
Exactly.
It's about embracing a new way of thinking and being in the world. One that prioritizes unity, service, and the betterment of humanity.
Beautifully put. I think that's a perfect place to wrap up part 2.
It is.
We've covered a lot of ground, but this is just the beginning.
Right.
There's a whole universe of knowledge and inspiration to be found within the Baha'i teachings.
So to everyone listening,
Yeah.
if you're feeling even a little bit as inspired as I am, keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep putting these principles into action.
Yes, because the world needs your unique gifts and talents now more than ever.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time, keep seeking, keep growing, and keep shining your light.
I love it.
You know, it's really amazing to think about how much potential there is for change, right? Like this deep dive into the Baha'i model.
Yeah.
It's really opened up my eyes to a whole new perspective on what education could be.
And that's really the key takeaway here.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that education isn't just about individual gain.
Right.
It's actually this incredibly powerful tool for social change, for empowering people to become forces for good in their communities and in the world.
So it's not just about me getting my degree or getting a better job.
Exactly.
It's about how I can use what I learn to actually make a real difference.
Precisely.
Gotcha.
And remember that principle of unity and diversity that we talked about?
Yeah.
The Baha'i teachings are all about respecting and appreciating the differences between individuals and cultures.
That feels so important right now.
It is.
Especially in a world where it feels like we're constantly being bombarded with messages that are meant to divide us.
You're absolutely right. We need to actively resist those forces of division.
Yeah.
And really focus on building bridges of understanding and cooperation. It all comes back to recognizing our shared humanity.
Yeah, it's about remembering that we're all in this together.
Exactly.
No matter our differences, we're part of one big human family.
And that brings us to our third key takeaway.
Okay.
The importance of service to others. The Baha'i Faith teaches that we're here to serve humanity and contribute to making the world a better place, not just for ourselves, but for everyone.
So it's about using our knowledge and skills and talents to have a positive impact on the world around us.
It's not just about what we get to eat.
Right.
It's about what we give.
Gotcha.
It's about finding that sense of purpose and meaning by making a difference in the lives of others.
I'm so struck by how practical and doable these principles are.
Yeah.
It's not just these lofty ideals.
Right.
They're things that we can actually strive to live by every single day.
That's the beauty of it. The Baha'i teachings offer this roadmap for living a meaningful and fulfilling life, both individually and collectively.
Right.
It's a journey of learning, growing, and serving.
Yeah.
And it's a journey that we can all take together.
You know, at the beginning of this deep dive, we asked a big question.
We did.
We asked, could this model of education actually help save humanity? What are your thoughts now, having gone through all this?
Well, I think the Baha'i teachings definitely offer a really powerful vision for the future of education.
Okay.
One that prioritizes unity service and the development of the whole person.
Right.
Whether or not it can actually save humanity, well, that's a question that only time will tell.
Yeah.
But I do believe that by embracing these principles and putting them into action in our own lives, we can absolutely contribute to creating a more just peaceful and sustainable world.
Couldn't agree more. And to everyone listening,
Yeah.
I want to say this.
Yeah.
Don't let this be the end of your journey.
Keep going.
Keep exploring the Baha'i teachings, keep asking questions,
Yeah.
and most importantly, keep looking for ways to apply these principles to your own life.
The world needs you.
It really does.
The world needs your unique gifts and talents, your compassion, and your commitment to making a difference.
That is so well said. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.
It's been a real pleasure talking with you.
Yeah.
And to everyone listening, we'll see you next time.
See you then.